Ethics with S. Ansari remains the best ever choice. Do you know that ethics paper is the only paper in general studies that pays more with less efforts? One can easily secure 130 to 140 marks. Lukman IAS is a well-established name since 2014 for ethics paper. We offer 3 types of courses: Ethics Foundation course, Ethics Case Studies, and Ethics Test Series. Since 2015, Lukman IAS students have maintained the records of securing the highest marks in this paper. So, why to wait? Contact us today for more information.
Hello everyone, my name is Sahitya Pusapati and I have secured rank 24 in this year's Civil Services examination. In this video, we will be discussing what worked for me in mains. So mains has always been the Achilles heel for me because that is what I have lost out on in all the 4 attempts that I had given, or at least 3 attempts that I had given before this final and successful attempt. The mistakes that I have made for mains is that mostly I would focus my preparation towards prelims, and I would collect some information for prelims, and whatever notes that I had made for prelims I would mostly use that for mains as well, which was not enough in the first place, and I was haphazardly preparing for mains throughout my previous years, and my optional has been zoology, and zoology has been one of the reasons why I couldn't at least prepare myself wholeheartedly or otherwise with full-fledged concentration for general studies in the initial attempts, because zoology had consumed a lot of my time and energy. But we will discuss about general studies in this particular video, and I will tell you what mistakes that I have committed and what mistakes you people must not commit in order to reduce your preparation time and the attempts, the number of attempts as well. So for general studies, it is important that you have content for all the topics that are mentioned in the syllabus. That is needless to say. Although it is needless to say, I have seen that lots of people don't have full-fledged notes for all the keywords which are mentioned in the syllabus. Please don't make that mistake. Either you prepare your notes from the classes that you have taken, or if you're doing self-studies, you must have purchased some standard books. So make sure that you either underline or you kind of prepare your own hand notes for the topics which are given in the syllabus. Or if you are a part of any initiative, then please make sure that you use their material generously, or you can purchase the material for general studies which is available in the market. Don't compromise on the thing that you have to have notes for all the topics which are given in the syllabus. I have seen so many people who don't have that. Please don't make that mistake. What I have done was mostly for art and culture, as I have mentioned in my prelims video, I have followed the notes of that only from Gazetteer on India, and for polity also I have written notes from Subhash Kashyap, and for ethics I followed D.K. Balaji sir's textbook, and that too supplemented by the handwritten notes that I have prepared over the period of preparation that I have done from the different classes that I have taken. And for internal security I used second ARC, and for governance part also second ARC was very much helpful. For international relations it was mostly my notes and along with current affairs, and in addition to that I think for society and social justice also I have followed NCERT textbooks and also the current affairs. But in addition to all of these, I have downloaded Hrishikesh Reddy's notes. So he got rank 95 in the year 2019. So I have downloaded his notes. His notes are available for free on the net, and I have downloaded them, and I thought that they were incredibly useful across the general studies papers. I have made good use of Hrishikesh Reddy's notes across GS1, GS2 and GS3. Especially for GS4 I have followed D.K. Balaji sir's textbook along with my handwritten notes, and in addition to that I have been a part of Forum IAS MGP program during the years 2020 and 2021, and I thought their program and their test series has been of extreme use, because that is where I have understood how to present an answer, what it means to be a rich answer full of simplicity. That is, I knew what kind of keywords I needed to use, where to stop, or how to begin, or what kind of value can be added to an answer. And in addition to that, I did follow Dipin sir's current affairs classes. I enrolled in his classes, and they are simply amazing, absolutely worth your money. And it is actually more than that, because sir has also taken great pain in collating the information from different sources, and I found them very useful. I enrolled for the mains current affairs classes, and I thought they were absolute gems. In addition to that, what I would like to say is, people do ask me if we should start answer writing before or after prelims. But if you have been preparing for good, if you're starting from your school days or your college days, then it is very natural, right, that you start your answer writing preparation after at least 1 year or after 6 months of your preparation. It's okay, you can say start your answer writing preparation and at least brainstorm about questions and make sure that you think about the general outline.
DKT UPSC CSE। अगर आप केवल सिविल सर्विस परीक्षा के प्रीलिम्स, मेंस और इंटरव्यू के वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें DKT UPSC CSE चैनल। यहाँ आपको टॉपर्स के वीडियो रैंक के हिसाब से अरेंज मिलेंगे। चैनल के लिंक के लिए डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जाएं।
And for people who haven't started their answer writing preparation before mains exam or before prelims exam, I think you and I are almost on the same boat, because I have never done that before my prelims, and I have mostly practiced my answers after prelims only. And sometimes I would take the help of Secure Initiative by Insights on India, but other than that, I think Think, Learn and Perform program of IAS Baba has been of great use for me. I practiced it for around 30 or 35 days between my prelims and mains program. Their synopsis is also wonderful, and their questions are also quite closely related to the previous year questions. And as far as previous year questions is concerned, I hope all of you are going through the previous year questions of mains, because that is what will give you an idea of what to do and what not to do. I purchased a previous year solved question paper book by Drishti Publications. I thought it was very good. It at least helped me to quickly brainstorm and to quickly get some fodder points about the topics. So I have made use of all these sources, and that too I have done this in my final attempt. During the previous attempts, it was mostly haphazard. I did enroll in some test series, but I did not find them very useful, mostly due to my own limitations. But I thought the game changers this year have been Rushikesh Reddy's notes and my own revision through all these years, and Forum IAS's MGP and Dipin sir's current affairs classes. So I think in my successful attempt, all of these have vastly contributed towards general studies 1, 2, 3 and 4. And as far as essay is concerned, I would like to say that I have consistently scored in 130s in all my attempts, barring the last attempt. In 2021 attempt, I was able to score 127. But I think what worked for me in essays is the creative way of representation, because the floor is generally open during essays, and you have time as well. You have 2 essays and you have 3 hours time, giving 1.5 hours time for each of the essays. So that way essay had been my natural strength in all these attempts, and I was able to reap good benefit from that. And I would like to say that for essay, I usually started it with a poem that I made out of my own learning and my own understanding. I generally did not borrow any quotes from any authors, and I generally did not, I was very poor at memorizing. So that way I generally wrote a poem which is very simple, just like how a child would write. Let's suppose a 9th class or an 8th class child would write about a topic. That's what I would do. I would start it with a good introduction, and I would end it with a good conclusion, and I would use good subheadings as well. So it's mostly your subheadings which will catch the attention of the examiner. For example, if you talk about Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, then I would talk, or rather than writing Swami Vivekananda and his brilliance, I would write the dynamite from Dakshineshwar who took the world by storm. So that was the subheading I had used. And for philosophical essays, I would like to say that you don't have to actually specialize, but whatever that you think, you have to correlate it with your own heart. It has to resonate with your core beliefs, and and it has to be contemporary. So if you can come up with that, I think it will be helpful. And let's suppose even for the poems that I would start with, let's suppose if we take the example of women empowerment, then you can say, I find her working on the fields, I find her cradling her child, I find her nursing at a hospital, and I find her tailoring through the night. So it's like this, in the sense it's the organic flow of how you look at women or what you feel that women empowerment is. So that way I would mostly make up poems out of my own understanding and out of my own creative sense that I have. And for people who can use anecdotes, it is also very good. But my general style of essay is I would start with a good poem that is relevant to the topic, and I would use thesis statement which would talk about which would outline the contents of the essay, and then I would talk about the subheadings, and then I would conclude it. So I have given you the examples of what kind of poems or what kind of subheadings. So I really feel that this would be of good help to you. And for mains, I think as your revision becomes better, as your consolidation becomes better, your answers reproduction also becomes much better. I did use certain kind of schematics, I did use certain flowcharts where I could not finish or where I did not find time, so that can be of help as well. But make sure that you're prepared with all your general studies papers even before you go and write your essay. So that is the trick. That way you can use the content of GS3 in GS1, or similarly the content of GS4 in your essays. So that way it will be of help to you. And as far as preparation of the subject is concerned, please make sure that you have notes for each and every topic and enroll in test series. It could be year-long test series or between prelims and mains. And for essays, take up weekly essay challenges. I think Insights on India does provide weekly essay challenges which are very good. They give you some kind of outlines as well. That is very helpful as well. And make sure that you revise it as many times as possible. That is, revise it whatever that you have studied today, you will be revising tomorrow. But whatever you have studied today, you should be able to revise it day after tomorrow as well. That is what I did actually. That way, by the end of the week, the topic that I have studied on the first day, I would have revised at least 5 to 6 times. That way it sits in my brain. So that is a trick that I have used. I hope it helps, or if some people can use this trick, it is very helpful. And as far as data is concerned, how to memorize it.
Ethics with S. Ansari remains the best ever choice. Do you know that ethics paper is the only paper in general studies that pays more with less efforts? One can easily secure 130 to 140 marks. Lukman IAS is a well-established name since 2014 for ethics paper. We offer 3 types of courses: Ethics Foundation course, Ethics Case Studies, and Ethics Test Series. Since 2015, Lukman IAS students have maintained the records of securing the highest marks in this paper. So, why to wait? Contact us today for more information.
Please understand that data should be to prove your point. It should be the logic behind your explanation. So have limited data for each and every topic, and have data and quote the source of the data as well. That will bring more authenticity. And the way to remember data is be emotional about it. Let's suppose you're talking about the number of poor people. You have to think about it emotionally. That is, India has at least 20% of people who are multidimensionally poor, or otherwise who are extremely poor. So that way you have to think it with emotional this thing. Let's suppose there are crimes which are happening against women. Then for that also you have to see that there are so many rapes, or let's suppose there are X number of rapes that are happening in the country, or otherwise X number of women are being subjected to domestic violence. Then you have to add an emotional quotient to it. So that way you can retain it. Thank you so much.